Hello and welcome to this next task of your NEA, which is about analysing and improving design ideas. So the idea is that by understanding it, you will then be able to improve your design work. You can now actually start picking up marks for section F of your NEA, which is the last section, but this can happen throughout the project, so that's great. If we look at the top marks band and we pick out some of the keywords, you should be showing iterations, a direct result of analysis and evaluation, considering feedback from third parties, that's your client. And if I look here at the bottom, you also need excellent ongoing analysis and evaluation. So what does all that mean in plain English? To get top marks, what you need to do is continuously reflect on your investigations, consider the input from your user, and then improve your design work. We're going to have a look at what this looks like in practice, but just remember, if you still need to improve your design idea pages, now is the opportunity. So don't forget, a great design idea page has multiple ideas, showing lots of variety. You get marks for creativity then. Try and show good technique, for example, e.g. isometric. That's a great way of helping to communicate. Color and shading, thick outlines to make some ideas stand out. Detailed annotations explaining design features. You can do that on the computer if you want. Don't have to be handwritten. And then certain design features zoomed in or exploded, just to communicate how it might function or be assembled. Then you're going to start breaking them up on the page, and this is where your analysis starts coming in. So what you could do is separate them out and then do something like number them, like here 1, 2 and 3, and then you can go into more detail in your descriptions about what the designs are. So you could start to type up your handwritten annotations. Here it's pointed out a weakness. Another thing you could do is put boxes where you go into detail. Here, for example, the design has 2 large side panels with a zigzag pattern to support 2 shelves. On the top are vertical poles on which to stack boots. These sides are likely made of a manufactured board due to the need for it to be made of large sheets. So we're starting to think about materials now. This is designed to accommodate 3 pairs of shoes on each shelf. Strengths and weaknesses clearly in green and red. You could do that for each of your products. It doesn't need to be loads, but it could just help explain your design idea. Another thing, client opinions. These could be in a different color box. Show them your sketches, get them your thoughts. Get them to give you their thoughts. And then for really nailing the marks, you could use some sort of judgment box against your specification. So here, I could make a judgment that I've met aesthetic requirements 1 and 2 for this product and functional requirement 1. But maybe I'm going to make the judgment I haven't met functional requirement 2. Perhaps I've only partly met a requirement, in which case I might say part met or something like that. Cost, you wouldn't know at this point, so you could just leave it blank. The point is, go back, look at your specification, see how well you've met your criteria. If you do that, you might then identify improvements to make in your specification and pick up even more marks. Then once you've done that, you can conclude, say, what you've learned from this process and what improvements you know you need to make with your design. Here's another example. Students going from initial concepts to analysis. They've actually done a pretty good job with their sketching, so they don't need to improve it that much. That's great. But like I've shown, they've then broken it up on the page. What else have they added? They've actually added a couple of additional details or iterations. Again, if you need to improve your sketches, do it. Why not? They've got client input, different color box here to make it clear. And then they've got this judgment against their specification. And here they've used the expression part met, met, not met. And if I look through this design 1, if I went down, you could see that maintenance point 2, they've not met that. So that would be what they then go on to improve. You don't have to lay it out in that way. Here's another example. You could just break it up into columns or text boxes and then use your specification keywords to analyze it. Again, green being positive, red being negative, and here they've got the client input in a different color. So you can do it in a different way if you prefer. So what do you need to do? Make any final improvements to your sketches. Make sure annotations explain the design features that aren't easily communicated. You can you can digitally type them, remember. Comment on strengths and weaknesses with the design and evaluate against your design brief. Show clients so that they can give you feedback and consider a judgment table. That's where you say whether you've met a point, not met, and so on. So do's, use a variety of sketching and rendering techniques, annotate and evaluate your designs, get client input, Color code strengths and weaknesses, evaluate against your specification like a checklist, and say what you need to find out what you need to do next. Don't, please, rush your sketches so they're difficult to understand. Don't become fixated on one idea, and don't ignore your research or client needs. All right, best of luck.